And back to Thailand, COVID-19 cases today, 7 new cases of infection, and all are imported cases, and they are in state quarantine. So the 7 of the new cases are Thai returnees who are in state quarantine in Bangkok, Songkhla, Satun, Pattani, Yala, Chonburi, Narathiwat, Krabi, and Samut Prakan provinces. So it means that Thailand doesn't have local infection for quite a while, Khun Thepchai.
It has been good news like this for weeks now.
Yeah.
But the big question is that since we are now in the third phase of the lockdown easing, the question is what will happen to the fourth or the next round of easing of the lockdown measures? Will the state of emergency be lifted? That's a big question that I'm sure that is in the mind of many people now. So Deputy Prime Minister Khun Visanu Kurangam today has something to say about this. He said the next 2 weeks will be very crucial in helping the government to decide whether or not to continue with the state of emergencies. If the next 2 weeks sees continuing absence of local transmissions, then there's a strong possibility that the state of emergency could be lifted to be replaced by some other less draconian measures. So that's certainly another piece of good news that people are waiting to see happen.
Yes, so probably in 2 weeks' time, we're going to know more detail. But yesterday, Khun Thepchai, there was a case of violation of restrictive measure in terms of keeping social distancing in Paragon Cineplex, in which they have live show by 2 artists, and it raised alarm for the authority. And finally, Siam Paragon has to order the closure of the Cineplex for 3 days from 7th to 9th of June because of violation of the restrictive measures.
Yeah, the incident certainly shows that that repeated warnings from health authorities for members of the public to keep their guard high have apparently fallen on deaf ears, Kunatha, because thousands, as you can see in the picture, thousands of youngsters descended on the Paragon Cineplex at Siam Paragon shopping complex on Friday to catch a glimpse of an acting duo, as Kunatha mentioned. The scene was quite chaotic as the young actors were mobbed by their fans wanting to have their photos taken with them. And it was obvious from video clips and photos from the event that all precautions for social distancing were totally ignored. And the incident prompted the military Supreme Commander, General Pornpipat Benjasi, to issue a threat to penalize violators of physical distancing measures. General Pornpipat is in charge of security for the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration and has been most vocal on the need for health safety measures to be strictly enforced.
Yeah. It's just about a week that the cinema have been allowed to reopen, but this case has blown the opportunity for the cinema to run on the business as usual, and they must be very careful from now on.
Yeah. So the event at the Siam Paragon on Friday was obviously the biggest public mass gathering since the relaxation of the shutdown measures, and certainly that doesn't go down well with the health authorities who want to see more precautionary measures that are taken more seriously by members of the public.
Yeah, that's right. Because during this time, the authority are checking all the behavior of business activities, whether they comply to the restrictive measure, because we are in the period of easing restriction.